I'm Mr. B, and today we have a 2011 Range Rover Sport HSE SUV, and it has the V8 engine in it, and we have a lot of codes. So the codes that are being represented with this problem are lean codes. We have mass airflow meter codes, which is important to remember. This car has 2 mass airflow meters, and a couple of other codes that are all pointing to one situation that we need to look at. So the issue that we're having, I believe, is with the PCV system. So I've checked this system for vacuum leaks using a smoke tester and visual inspection, did not see anything like that. However, from what I've been seeing online and also through just experience, is this is being caused by a PCV system that is a little bit out of line or leaking internally. So when the PCV system goes bad, it has these diaphragms in the valve cover and they will break. And that causes the vacuum leak to be internal. So in other words, the intake is leaking into the crankcase and it's going to lean out the mixture because it's not metering that air that's going into the crankcase. So on these, you used to have to replace the entire valve cover gasket. However, now they make repair kits. I got mine online for, I think, about $25 on Amazon, and it comes with these 2 diaphragms that have a plastic cup attached to them and a spring. So I'm going to show you the kit that I got, and I'll show you on the car where we have to go to replace these parts. Okay, so let's go ahead and unbox these and see what we got. This is going to come with 2 of them. You can get them singularly, but I just got the 2, and they're both the same. So you have your rubber diaphragm in here, and this is the part that goes bad. And it'll be ripped in here, and that's allowing engine vacuum past this part right here and into the crankshaft, into the crankcase, excuse me. And so this is your plastic cap, and this is what we're going to be removing to get to this stuff. Of course, when we remove these little plastic clips on here are going to be very old, and they're probably going to break. So we've got a new one of these as well. This is going to go just like that, and then we'll have a spring, and this spring fits right here, and that's what keeps the tension on all of this. So once we get this old one out, we're just going to center this up and pop it on to the valve cover, and that should fix our problem. This comes with 2 of them. Again, I got them for about $25 on Amazon, and it's going to save the customer a lot of money just because you don't have to replace the whole valve cover, which used to be the fix for this before they came out with these kits. Okay, so here we are in the car. This is going to be the passenger side here, and you'll see those 2 circles. Zoom in here. And these are what we're replacing. So right here are the clips that we'll have to manipulate. You can get a little pick and come at it sideways and just pop these off one at a time, and then the spring pressure should go ahead and just pull this off, and then we center it up, and then we'll click these back on. So I'm gonna go ahead and set the camera up and show you guys how I do this. However, you won't be able to see too well just because of the camera angle, but we'll see what we can do. Okay, the unfortunate thing with these is to check them, you really have to destroy them to check them. So definitely don't do this unless you have another set. Because see, these little plastic pieces will break off. So you definitely need to make sure that you have another set before we go to change these out. And I just use a little 90-degree pick. You can get these from anywhere. Be careful with the surrounding plastic. You do not want to break the plastic on the valve cover, because then you're going to end up having a world of problems. You'll have to replace the valve cover, which is not a piece of cake on these. Normally if you get 2 or 3, you will be able to pop this loose. Let's see here. Get this off. I'm doing the hard one first. but you don't have to. And it's a little aggravating, but it's a lot easier than the alternative of replacing the valve cover itself. All right, so this comes off. And this is the diaphragm right here. These get old, they'll rip. But you see right here, this is where the problem is. Right here. And it's got a spring that goes in first, then this. And let me go get the other piece, and I'll go ahead and put it in. But this rip right here, let me see if I can get the camera to focus. There you go. That's what we're looking at. So that is your vacuum leak, okay? And you need to do both of these because over time, these have probably never been done before. They get old and you see it'll just start coming apart just with, you know, barely any pressure at all. Let me go get the other one and I'll show y'all how to put that on. Okay, so here's the new one. We're going to put the spring right here and we'll put this down right there in the center. Make sure nothing gets in the way here. And we just press down. And that clips in. You want to make sure you hear them click all the way around. Make sure you don't see anything going crazy. You may want to take like a wood piece of a hammer and just kind of knock in there just to make sure that all these are on. And then all you have to do is this next one. It goes the same way as the one in the back. I did the hard one. This one's actually easier because it's a little bit more forward. So after you get done, you know, it takes you 5-10 minutes maybe to do this. And then you need to clear the codes and drive it for a while, or go through your scan tool and check and make sure everything's okay. But after that, this should take care of a lot of the problems that these cars have with lean codes if you don't have any external vacuum leaks. Okay, so that does it for our PCV repair for this Range Rover. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. As always, I always answer my comments. If you look back at my later videos, you'll always see me in the comment mix. So very, very good about answering comments. Also, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, VK, Instagram. I also have a podcast that you can catch on any of your podcast networks called Autocorrect with Mr. B, where I talk about all kinds of automotive stuff on there. And as always, please like the video if it taught you anything and subscribe to the channel for more content on automotive repair. We'll see you next time.